I really want you to have this before this phone rudely cuts off on me again in the middle of my recording. Awareness of the Soul King Army's leadership. Soul Game Saga Part 7 of Infinity, Part 3. Awareness of the Soul King Army's leadership. Here, I'm just going to jump straight to the ones that have been cut off on me twice now. The Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel, Major, and Captain. Those four. Just start there. So, who's going to play as the Lieutenant Colonel for this here Soul King Army as I'm setting up? Or should I say the Soul Colonel? Remember, for my Soul King Army, the way you label and describe the ranks, you say the Soul first, and then whatever the rank is after the Soul. The Soul first, and then the rank after the Soul. You follow what I'm saying? The Soul Colonel is going to be the 9 Great Fathers of my established Yahusha. Infinity, Home Saga Parable. The 9 Great Fathers within that parable. And then for the Soul Lieutenant Colonel, it's going to be the 9 Great Fathers of my Free Yahusha 8-4 parable. It's a Home Liberation Saga parable. And then for the Soul, after the Soul Lieutenant Colonel, you have the Soul Major. For the Soul Major, Cosmic Yahusha 6-9. The 9 Great Fathers of that parable will play as each of the Soul Majors within the Soul King's army. And then finally, for the Soul Captain, you have Super Yahusha 4-7. Super Yahusha 4-7's 9 Great Father parables within the Christ Game Saga. They are going to play as the Soul Captains. So yeah, that means my brother, who represents the Earth Star chakra of that parable, will play as a Soul Captain. And then the Root chakra from the video game, because of the reconnection scenario. Remember, the 9 Great Fathers are reconnection scenarios to the chakra gates. The 9 Great Fathers are more reconnection scenarios, just like the 4 Exodus keywords. They're more reconnection scenarios to the chakra gates. Remember, this is a spiritual war in which we are in. And the main way we get out of the spiritual war, or that we beat the spiritual war, is by getting the Soul King out of this prison, in which the mental spirit prison of the spiritual war is for him. If that makes sense to you. As within, so throughout. Destroy the city internally, destroys the city externally. Summoning the army internally, summons the army externally. As soon as I finish this part of the explanation, I can finally move on to something else. More words to say out loud, in which will shatter the mental spirit prison plaguing our mind, heart, space, psyche. Reconnection Scenario Fathers, the 9 Great Fathers of Super Yahusha, the 9 Great Fathers of Cosmic Yahusha, the 9 Great Fathers of Free Yahusha, and the 9 Great Fathers of Established Yahusha. These will all play as those 4 soul ranks that I just told you about, in which I am using from the U.S. military force to label and describe my spiritual army ranks. You follow me? This spiritual army will be summoned in the spirit. All of the character traits, all of the reconnection scenarios, all of the things thereof, in which will ultimately lead to the destruction of the city, plaguing thy mind heart spaces. The more awareness you gain of the soul's personality traits, the more the city falls down. The more awareness you gain of the personality traits of the soul, the more the city in you gets destroyed. It crumbles. Ground-breaking words. Every single sentence I speak, groundbreaking. Every single word I say, groundbreaking. Every single breath I take, groundbreaking. My thoughts destroy the world. What world? The evil world, plaguing my mind heart spaces currently. Next, the soul's first lieutenant. Just me. Alone. But here's the thing though. I am you, you are me, we are one and the same being. Love. Universal love. The just universal love. The universal just love. We are all these things together. We are this one thing all together as one massive major family, all of us. I just seen a video that fully validated that this entire planet is essentially one village. You don't have to buy that. You don't have to buy that. This entire world is one continent. This entire world is one country. This entire world is one nation. The only reason why we feel like or think we are multiple nations is due to people of a genetically modified sort. And due to their genetic modifications, the Akasha Mother cannot send her love to and throughout them all. Nor can the Soul Father. There are two, yet not two, just one thing, powers in which cannot coerce through to and through certain people of this world due to their genetic modifications blocking the abilities for those powers to be able to. So me, as the soul's first lieutenant, wants to bring awareness of all of my superiors. I, as the soul's first lieutenant, desire to bring awareness of all of my superiors within mine army, all of my rank ups, all of my captains, all of my majors, my lieutenant colonels and colonels, things of that nature. Bring awareness to you all of who these members are. And these members virtually automatically will get the summoning in the spirit and tearing apart what is plaguing it. The spirit is our control mechanism. It's at base, the spirit is our five senses, the ether, or hearing, or sound, space, where we, as a being in which we are, the spiritual being, derive from. As always, you ain't gotta buy that. It's your marvelous mind. It's your marvelous capacity to think. It's your abilities of greatness. Yours. Use them however you wish to use them. First Lieutenant, me, myself and I, as well as everybody else alive, due to how I am depicting you into becoming my family. It's just a depiction, a way to cast unto us, reverse of what the devil cast unto us. You follow me? The devil depicted us all into enemies of one another. Reverse that. Depict us all into family members of one another. The devil depicted us into disrespecting one another. Reverse that. Depict us into respecting one another. Respect is love in action. Disrespect is hatred in action. Unity is power. Disunity is powerlessness. You follow what I'm saying? Next rank then. Who's the second lieutenant? I'm also going to mention my 5 warrant officers and how simple all of this is. Who's the second lieutenant? Just my conviction. God will have his world. God will have his people moving God's speed forever. That's all it is. Because technically my conviction is my wife, the Akasha. The soul God, in which forms itself through the Akasha Queen. The Soul King God, in which forms itself to and throughout the Akasha Queen, meaning like children. This entity is who I refer to when I say it will have its world. The Soul God King and the Akasha Spirit Queen. These two are one in the soul spirit or spirit and soul. And this is who I refer to as God. Whenever I say God will have his world, I refer to this one being that is multiple beings or just one being, depending on how you want to look at it. This power, this energy is what I refer to when I say God will have his world. Therefore, my conviction, what is a conviction? A firmly held belief and or opinion. What I am married to. So in other words, my wife is the second lieutenant. My wife is the sole second lieutenant of my Soul King's army here. And alongside my wife, us reciprocating our energies of peace, love, unity, and advancement and establishment back and forth betwixt one another, drives it into the world to be manifested endlessly. And that there closes off the officers of my Soul King Army ranks. The officers. Recap. Then I must list off the 5 warrant officers and close out the video. Just a full recap of the first 2 parts. The sole general of the army, of the 33 divas of the Hindu cosmology, are going to be the Pancha Mahabhuts. Of course, all 33 of them are going to play as the sole general of the army, but for right now, just those 5. Next, the sole general, who's going to play as the sole general, all 400 plus 1 Orishas. But the 4, I won't focus on those. Shango the Thunderer and his 3 wives, Oshun, Oba, and Oya. Oshun representing the solar plexus chakra, Oba representing the Earth Star chakra, and Oya representing the Akasha chakra. Next, the soul's lieutenant general. The soul's lieutenant general will be the 10,000 times 10,000 and thousands of angels, all within our mind, heart, spaces capabilities, manifesting themselves to and throughout us all as the magnificent qualities in which they are. Next will be the soul's major general. The soul's major general, the Pharos of Egypt. There are approximately, on record, 1,400 to 2,000 ancient Egyptian mythology gods that existed. They all existed. It doesn't matter how much the white American man or the white American woman or the white people of any kind of sort or category wishes to erase what we were in our past. We were that. We were Egyptian gods and still technically are. Just because they came in, destroyed everything, and told us to believe differently, that doesn't necessarily mean we have to accept it. We don't have to accept anything they force us to accept at all. We are these 2,000 Egyptian gods. We are these 2,000 Egyptian gods. And for my game, or should I say for my parable, they're all gonna play as soul major generals that are gonna lay waste to this city plaguing our mind, heart spaces, so we can just be what we are. Courage is a natural derivative. You ain't gotta try to be it. Just be yourself and you'll be it. Moving forward. Next, the soul Brigadier Generals. Who's the soul Brigadier General? Just the 10 chakra system itself. The 1 star. And then Lieutenant, or then the Colonel, Lieutenant Colonel, Major, and Captain. Who's the soul Colonel? The soul Colonel will be the 9 great fathers of the established Yahusha infinity. Home Saga parable. Then the soul Lieutenant Colonel, the 9 great fathers of my free Yahusha 8-4 Home Liberation Saga parable. Then you got the soul major, the 9 great fathers of the cosmic Yahusha 6-9 Soul Game Saga parable. Those 9 great fathers there, including Gravedon for the throat chakra. So that means Gravedon and my whole spiritual parable is going to also play as a soul major in my spiritual parable. Remember, all 9 great fathers are this specific rank. So that means Magneto of the heart chakra in the Soul Game Saga is also a soul major. And that also means Afro Samurai, who's going to be laying waste and cutting down all these foul principalities up and up. Beat you the F up in spirit, then beat the hell out of your souls. Or cut you the F up in spirit with the sword of my mouth. Which is another reason why Afro Samurai is going to play as a soul major. And then cut the hell out of your souls. Literally cut the hell out of you. And then lastly, the soul captain, Super Yeshua or Super Yahusha 4-7. The Christ Game Saga parable. What is a parable? A parable is a short story used to label and describe a moral and or spiritual upliftance. And then, First Lieutenant, myself, the one who's putting all of this information out here of my superiors for you to know about. And then the Second Lieutenant, who's also doing the same thing with me. My conviction, God will have his world. Who are my 5 warrant officers now? I keep telling you this is all soul parable, soul parable, soul parable. So my 5 warrant officers, the first one will be peace. Second one will be love. Third one would be unity. Soul warrant officer 5 advancement. Or 4, Soul Warrant Officer 4, advancement. And then Soul Warrant Officer 5. Can you take a guess? Establishment. Everything is about a soul parable for me. Parables. I don't mean no physical harm unto thee. I only mean non-physical harm unto thee. The next upcoming video, now that I've gotten this explanation out, is going to be Soul Game Saga, Part 8 of Infinity. Awareness of the Soul Marine Corps. Or you can call it, which is most likely what I'm going to call it, the Soul Marine Corps Explained. Soul Game Saga Part 8 of Infinity, the Soul Marine Corps Explained. Coming right after this one soon. Shalom, shalom, shalom. This concludes the warrant officers, and those warrant officers will be used, those soul warrant officers will be used within every branch of my soul military. My entire soul military. Like I said, I have a spiritual army, and I have a spiritual Marine Corps, or a soul Marine Corps, and a soul army. And I just gave you the leadership of the Soul King's army. Next, I'm going to tell you about the lower ranks, the Soul Marine Corps, and the Soul Army. Lay waste to the city plaguing our mind-heart spaces. Peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family.